Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got more live tournament action coming at you right now. We are in the finals. That is correct, the finals of today's Let It Ride tournament. We are going to be watching Thor versus Winhouse, a Zerg versus Zerg, starting out here on MLG's Metalopolis. And I have a very special treat for everybody. We've got Shikoi back in the mix. He's going to be casting this game with me. Shikoi, what do you have to say, man?
Oh, I'm disappointed that it's a Zerg on Zerg, honestly. I would have loved to have seen a Protoss or a Terran. But that's fine. It's definitely going to be some interesting mix. I'm curious to know how these guys transition game to game because they have the same units.
Yeah. Yep, it's going to be real interesting. And we've seen some fun things from Winhouse so far, and Thor as well.
Both master players, too.
Yep, two master players battling it out. This is going to be a really great matchup, I think. And it's fun to start it out on Metalopolis. I think that this is a pretty balanced map. And what's your take on the map?
I agree. I mean, I'm actually surprised it's still in the map pool, but to no surprise, it's balanced. There's no advantage really. For a Zerg player, this map seems kind of weird though, just because there's so many and just like up and downs, and I don't really know if Zerg is necessarily good at that. It's like it seems like the map's boxed in too much for them to play the kind of game that a Zerg would want to.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me.
I mean, just think about it, because you got Colossus can go high ground, short ground. You've got siege tanks with Terran go high ground and snipe. But I mean, you can't really do that with Zerg units.
Yeah, that's true. Could be very interesting.
Especially with the Zerg versus Zerg. I mean, I guess you could say, well, you could go mutas and fly around, but I mean, what stops another Zerg player from doing that?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. And a good point, I'd say. Very well made.
Winhouse is going very quick, Zerglings.
Oh, yeah. Catching, and his opponent, look at this, his spawning pool is only, looks like almost 2/3 of the way done right now, so these Zerglings are going to be fairly effective here for just a moment, I think.
Oh, no question.
Going to at least be stopping that mining pretty good.
I'm curious to know if he'll transition into a Baleen build.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that as well. I half expect that at this point. Oh, wow, not bad. I'm going to watch Control R for just a minute. He's got 3 worker kills. That is pretty good for that few Zerglings. He's keeping them alive, doing a great job. Look at that, man. Down goes one of the Zerglings, and now Thor has got some Zerglings of his own.
But what a harassment.
Yeah, really costing Thor a lot of mining time, so that is tons of fun to see.
Ooh, he's going to get the Zergs, too. He's got 2 Zerglings left.
Gonna get the snipe on that drone. My goodness. Winhouse being very, very pesky here. This is fantastic to watch.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty stinking good. That was really good. Let's take a look at units tab, what that is going to translate into for Thor. He is now behind 7 drones in that harvester count. Not a fun situation. Of course, he is going to be moving out here. It looks going to try and reciprocate that. You've got 6 Zerglings moving out across the map.
But neither player has Zergling speed either, so
yeah, I mean he might be able to get the snipe on one queen, but I'm doubting that he's going to get the snipe on both of these guys.
I don't even think he'll get anything.
Yeah,
really,
it looks like he's backing out. He saw that many Zerglings with a queen there, and he said, "Forget that, I'm out of here." Probably a smart choice, I think. At this point, those queens were really ready to defend any counterattack. So.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe the drone advantage would have been more significant if he was playing a lower level player.
Yeah.
I really question master players aren't going to panic too much. So I mean, he's already almost caught back up, really, and these bases they really have no difference other than a Baleen nest that just got created by Winhouse.
Yep, there is the Baleen nest. And
I hope I've saying his name right. Winhouse, Winehouse. I don't really know.
Winhouse. Yeah, probably Winhouse. I think Thor is probably pretty easy to gauge what you'd want to say for that one.
You never know.
Never
These
know.
crazy people with their names.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like both players are going to go for a baleen nest build. Wow, I forgot how to speak the English language.
That's okay. You will be speaking Korean very soon in your illustrious pro gaming career, so.
Oh, one could hope. Curious to see all those Zerglings just chilling in the back of Winhouse's base.
Yeah.
I imagine maybe he doesn't want his opponent to see, maybe if he... Oh, never mind.
That's my guess, is that he was hiding them in numbers just in case there were some scouts coming in, and now he is cruising out with a lot, and a heck of a lot of them. Going to be turning some of them into banelings, I assume, here fairly shortly.
And looks like Balings are going to be built for Thor as well. I half expected this kind of play from game 1 between a Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah.
In fact, I expect this kind of build to be played every game, honestly. It seems to be the most common entrance for a Zerg versus Zerg, because if they can win off this, they win the game, you know?
It's true. And it can go back and forth, a couple times before one of them can make it stick. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a very, very... it's actually a really safe build when it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you've already scouted your opponent's got, 50 Thors on the map or something, then, I mean, you're pretty good for this in the early game. And we're only 9 minutes and 20 seconds in, so, yeah, I mean, this is great play so far. Those
Great
banelings,
defense by Thor.
yeah, really staying on top of that, isn't he? Good micro. Look at this. He's going to be sending out a scouting party of sorts to the top.
There's just so many Zergling, Baleen mix-up in Winhouse's army.
Yep.
But, with so much attack, that leaves him vulnerable to a counterattack, really, from the backside if he chose to.
Yep, and I have to expect Thor to do exactly that with these. Looks like he has got 7 total, but 6 up here at the top right now. Looks like
Could you imagine how devastating that would be if he turned those into Balings right now?
Yeah, I think that's what I would have gone for, but instead he's going to try and get the snipe of the Queen. Down goes the Queen.
His Zergling's way out of position.
Ooh, tense.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
What is he doing with his Balings? Oh, he's going to get them all. Oh, well, he got some.
That's not too bad. Of course, we do have a Roach Warren on the field now for Thor. And he was able to hold off.
Yeah, but look how many drones he lost.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's definitely behind. Of course, Winhouse has lost even more.
Well, yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I should be a little more specific. I think that all-in attack-wise from Winhouse was not very successful considering how much he lost at home. Both queens, considerable amount of drones.
Yeah, I agree. He's got ground to make up right now. Thor is droning up like crazy right now, trying to make a big gap there. Very, very smart idea, especially now that he's got that Roach Warren up. They're going to be pumping out roaches.
Yeah, I think this is where the transition comes. I mean, both players will do this bling-ish rush, and then whichever one fails at it, it's just so far behind.
Right.
Ooh, nice explosion on that
Baleen. Very, very good job. That was nice to see.
But I mean, his opponent's already on Roach technology. He's got enough defense at home to stop any more harassment, and he can just keep, playing mid game now.
Yep, and he is at 46 drones now to his opponent's 20. That is going to be brutal here very, very shortly. Winhouse, let me look at that. He's still stuck at 35 overall.
Well, I mean, there's not really much he could do. He doesn't have a queen in his main. He has to get that back up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's way behind.
But, I mean, I don't really see Thor doing too much other than droning up himself. So, I mean, there's going to be a time window for Winhouse to get back in this game economically.
Right. Yeah, he's droning up pretty good now, so hopefully he'll be able to catch back up, make something happen there. Going to need it, I think, at this point. Yeah, that's a lot of roaches. Trying to get some good scouting information here. Got these speedlings cruising around.
Although very passive, Thor is a very, very passive player.
Yeah.
He seems to love to drone up, just drone up. But he looks like he's going to go out on attack right now.
This would probably be a really good time. That's a lot of roaches. The defenses really aren't there to speak of for Winhouse. He's trying to get as many roaches out as he can right now and still be producing a reasonable amount of drones, which is just kind of tough. He's got missile attack level 1 on the way, too.
Wow. I don't see how he could defend this.
Yeah, this is way too many roaches.
It's like that movie. Oh man, what is it called? That bug movie. Oh my goodness, Starship Troopers.
Yeah. That is the swarm coming at you right now. Looks like this is going extremely well for Thor. Streaming units up here. I'd say this is game, man. I just don't see there any way of Winhouse going to be able to come back from this.
I agree. But, I mean, that's what happens when you risk so much on a Balian strategy.
Yeah.
Especially when your opponent knew it was coming. I mean, he obviously scouted and saw the spine crawlers. He saw all the defense at home. You know, it should have tipped him off that he probably shouldn't attack a turtle, you know?
Right. Yep, I think that's well said. There is GG. We're going Xel'Naga Caverns next. Thanks for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-StarCraft. We'll see you guys then.